Welcome back, everyone. This is Stephanie from My Porch Prints, and the first thing I want to say is I have a cold. So I apologize if I'm a little funny sounding today. I'm chewing some gum to keep my throat from drying out, but I'm sorry if I sniffle through this video, just like that. Anyway, we've been working on this junk journal created from the Grandma's Attic printable kit in my Etsy shop, and we made the cover and filled the pages, or we put them into the journal. And now today I'm going to actually talk about making an insert for your journal using a paper bag. So I'm going to show you how to make this insert, and it uses a lot of the printables from the kit, and we're going to be putting this together using a paper bag. So let's go ahead and get started. So this is actually a gift bag. You can get these in like the craft section at stores and stuff, or you could probably order them online. And the first thing we're going to do with this little guy is to cut the top off where the handles are. And it's a little lumpy and bumpy up here, but we're going to try to work with it the best that we can. So this is a little choppy. There we go. We'll cut those off. And then the next thing we're going to do is inside the side of your bag, there's a seam here, and we're going to cut down that and then down one corner right here. And I think we're going to do that on this right side, actually, because this is going to be the front. This is going to become a pocket. You can see right here. This little piece is from this, and then it opens like this, and it's going to have a flap over on this side. So over on the right side, cut down the seam and down this little corner here. And then we're going to go ahead and just cut the bottom off of this as well. And then that'll create kind of your opening. So it opens up now kind of like a card. And you can see it's got a whole bunch of pieces and stuff on the inside here, a lot of folds and things, but don't worry about that. We're going to cover those up. So now this is how it should look, and this little flap, it has this cut here. I'm going to straighten that out a little bit, and then I'm going to cut this a little bit straighter as well. And then I'm going to try to cut this side to match. So now it's become this kind of envelope-shaped flap. Okay, so the next thing you'll want to do is to ink around the edges. I'm not going to do that right now because it's not much fun to watch somebody ink a whole thing, but you'd want to ink all the way around the edges to get this kind of darker look. Now these papers come with the kit. I printed these on cardstock, and what I did was I measured and cut them to fit onto my my bag. And then this one I actually cut shorter because it's going to go inside here and become kind of the back for this front piece. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that on. And when I cut these out, I rounded the edges with an edge punch. And then I inked them too. We'll leave that for a minute and we'll go ahead and do our back side. And I'm just going to use this same pattern, but you could use anything that you wanted from the kit or whatever else you like best. So now we have kind of our front and back pieces, and then we're going to go ahead and do these inside pieces. Now this, you can see it comes up a little bit like this, and I don't want it to do that, so I'm going to glue that down flat. And then I've cut these pieces to size ahead of time as well, and I'm going to glue them here and here. And again, you'd want to ink your edges of your paper bag first. Excuse me. Before you did this. Well, I guess you could do it afterwards too, but I'm just saying you might want to ink those edges. And because this is a little bit lumpy and bumpy, you might want to set something heavy on it till it's dry, so that it doesn't kind of pop off your page. So I'm gonna set this here for a moment, and then on this side you've got your little flap here, so you don't want to get glue on that. You want to put this underneath the flap so it folds over it. Let that dry. Okay, so since we're talking about this little flap over here still, what you want to do is take a piece of your manila folder, if you still have that from when you made the cover of the journal. We made this out of a manila file folder, and if you have some more of those, that's what I'm using for this. And what I'm gonna do is take this off here. I'm going to use this as my template, and I'm going to go ahead and just cut a piece for this. Let's see, where's my pencil? Here it is. And I'm going to go ahead and just trace this like that. And then when I cut this, I'm going to cut a little bit to the inside so that it's a little bit smaller than this, and so that'll give me a border here. And again, you'd want to ink your edges of this piece. I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. And then I also put another piece just like this in here. So the inspiration for this journal kit, Grandma's Attic, was my great-grandma Rose. And yesterday I contacted my dad to get a picture. I knew that we had, it was a 5-generation picture from when I had my first daughter a long time ago. And he went ahead and sent that to me, and I put that inside of this one. I don't know if you can see it, it might be a little blurry, but yeah, it's pretty tiny too. But this is my great-grandma Rose down here holding my daughter, and then this is my Grandma Dorothy and me and my dad. So I was really glad to get that for this. And then he also sent me my grandma's dilly bread recipe. So I'll have to make that and put that recipe into this journal as well. It's nice to fill it with special things like that. Okay. So we'll just glue this in here. There we go. And it's coming together pretty nicely. And another piece that's in the kit is this little card. And we're going to go ahead and glue that. That just happens to fit really perfectly right here. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that on. And if you wanted to, you could make another pocket by gluing just the sides and the bottom, and then that would leave a pocket there too. But since we've already got a pocket created by the bag, the paper bag, I'm not going to bother with that. So speaking of which, this is your bottom of your paper bag, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue on each side here to create that pocket. And oops, oozing glue. And I don't know if that's going to want to stay glued for me, but I might have to hold it down with some paper clips. Let's hope that'll stay. So it's coming together pretty nicely. We've got a good little like insert for our journal going here. And what I'm going to do is a little bit of decorating and embellishing like I did on this one. So I don't have all these pieces since I used them already. So we'll make some new ones. And let's see, to start with, I think we'll go ahead and add an envelope right here. And this envelope comes with the kit, and then this little card comes with the kit as well. So I'm just going to add that right here, and I'm going to go ahead and glue it in. And I think I will just glue the sides and the bottom, and then this will create another tuck spot if I want it later. Just like that. And I'll put it a little bit lower on the page to leave room to tuck something in up there if I decide that I want to. And then over on this side, I'd like to use a card to create another little pocket. I'll have to see if I have one that'll work left in my stash. Let's see. This is kind of cute. It's a little journal card. Not sure if it's big enough. Yeah, it might be, actually. So again, I'm just going to glue the sides and the bottom, and then that'll leave a place to tuck things. And another printable that comes with this kit is this little letter, and I printed it double-sided with some of the papers provided. And that's going to go ahead and just tuck in there once it's dry. Not yet. And then I wrote the word memories on this one. And I think on this guy, I'm going to put the word create. And the way I did that was with these alphabet stamps and some black distress ink. But if you wanted, you could just write a word here or cut it out, or, you know, whatever you want to do. And this isn't about perfection because I don't expect it. So I just try to make it fun and cute and not worry about whether it's perfect or not. And you can see my alpha stamps are not in order. There we go. And I've also got just a couple of fun little stickers that my kiddos bought for me, and I'm going to go ahead and use those on here. There we go. It's coming together. And then in here, I put some pictures. The ones that I showed you earlier of my family, just something that was special to me. So when you make yours, you could just choose something special to put there. And then, let's see. So another thing I created were just these little paperclip embellishments, and they're pretty simple. I'm gonna go ahead and make something like this for you to see, and you could make one of your own if you like. You'll need a paperclip, and then another piece of your manila file folder. I just cut it into kind of a little squarish, rectangle-ish shape. You can tell I'm really specific and precise. I'm just kidding. I'm not specific or precise. And then I use my corner rounding punch on it. Like so. I went ahead and inked the edges as well. And then I also have this flower punch, and this is just some paper from the kit again. And I like to turn it upside down so I can kind of see what I'm punching. I don't know if it really matters, but sometimes it's nice to see. And then I'll go ahead and ink these edges too. And then I'm going to use just a bit of cheesecloth behind it for some texture. I'm going to glue down my cheesecloth first here. And then I'll glue this on top. And then I have this collection of antique buttons, and I'm gonna go ahead and use one of those. It's just a jar that I got at a thrift store of a bunch of old buttons, and let's glue one of those on there. And then when it comes to attaching the paper clip, I just used a strip of paper. There's probably a better way to do it, but for time reasons here, I'll just do it this way. And if you know a better way to attach the paper clip, then by all means, do that. But I'm just going to hook it under one side and glue it into place. And then that's that. And I've got a little embellishment that I can hook on to my piece here. And then the last thing you'll want to do is just find some pieces for tucking into your journal. Whatever ones you like best. And then you can also create a pocket on the back if you want, using more cards. You know, just glue the sides and bottom again. Just like this. And then that'll become another little tuck spot for other pieces from your kit. And that's pretty much it. Got a cute little insert that you can tie into your journal just like we did with the pages in the last segment. Alright everybody, thanks for watching.